Cao Cao gathered 10,000 bowmen and ordered them to shoot arrows at the source of the shouting and drum beating. The scarecrows were quickly shot full of arrows, and when they returned to camp the next morning, they collected more than 100,000 arrows. Many of the battles were fought like this, so strategically.
It's no wonder that the three kings of the Three Kingdom area all wanted to conquer this area. It was so rich in natural resources. It runs along the Yangtze River, the old path. But you might wonder why there aren't any crops around here. Well, the answer's simple. It's because it's a conservation area for a very unique animal, the David's deer.
With its abundant vegetation, verdant landscapes, and crystal clear waters, Jingzhou is endowed with natural beauty, making it a well-known home of one rare species. In this area long ago, Cao Cao formerly had the strongest kingdom. Notorious for his cruelty, he is known to have said, "I would rather wrong all the people under heaven than to have them wrong me," after he realized he had murdered an elderly couple whom had previously saved his life. However, even Cao Cao is finally met with defeat.
Hubei is a province with an abundance of lakes and waters all around, and thus Jingzhou in Hubei province is no exception. And you know, these waters, besides serving as a medium of transportation, were also the site of many battles during the Three Kingdom period. It's said that Cao Cao, the strongest official from the north, he was afraid of many of the water battles because he was only used to battles on land. Thus, he had to devise many strategies to work around these problems. In the end, he still lost many battles.
In the south, the Yangtze River provided the great military highway that both facilitated and channeled military operations. For Cao Cao, who was from the north, leading troops on ground was easy, but he was quite unfamiliar with the water battles. The Shu and Wu saw this, and in the famous battle at Red Cliffs, took advantage of the Wei's weakness, the water. At the famous Battle of Red Cliffs, the Wu tricked the Wei to chain their ships together, claiming that doing so would prevent the troops from getting seasick. Cao Cao's troops fell for the ruse, and their opponents later set Cao Cao's ships ablaze. There was nothing they could do, since their ships were chained one to the next. This excruciating defeat for the Wei led to the real division of the Three Kingdoms, each with strongholds around China. The Yangtze River is one of the mother rivers of Chinese civilization, and Jingzhou along the river was the capital and cradle of the Chu kingdom. Although not a dynasty, the Chu was one of the most important warring states contending for imperial China, and one of the most important shapers of the governing system that dominated China. Therefore, understanding the Chu culture is almost synonymous to understanding one of the origins of the Chinese culture. Much of what we see today are just remnants of the past. From afar, sunset to sunrise, much has changed in appearance. However, that feeling you get is exactly the same.
Jingzhou was of strategic importance during the Three Kingdom era because it was right at the intersecting point between the three kingdoms, and thus all the kings wanted to conquer this wonderful land. And its location by the Yangtze River meant that it was very important locationally because many of the information, the resources, weapons, and goods could all be exchanged at this point, and thus the kings could conquer and expand. And I guess that explains why many of the histories and many of the stories are all located in Jingzhou. Chinese people are known to worship two mythical creatures, one being the dragon, and the other, the lesser known, is right here, the phoenix. And it's believed that the origin of the worship of the phoenix was actually here in Hubei province over 2,000 years ago in the kingdom of Chu. And nowadays, this kind of worship can be seen all around, as you'll find this fella all over the place.
In Chinese mythology, the phoenix is an immortal bird who brings auspiciousness and world harmony, particularly upon the ascent of the throne of a new ruler. In Chinese, the phoenix is called the Feng Huang and considered to be the female counterpart of the male dragon. Feng Huang, the Chinese phoenix, has no connection with the phoenix of the Western world. The images of the phoenix have appeared in China for over 7,000 years, often in jade and originally on good luck totems. The History Museum boasts a collection of over 100,000 relics concerning the 6,000-year Chu culture. The archaeologists in Jingzhou Museum mainly unearth, research, and display the ancient cultural relics in Yangtze River area. You see this person standing on the phoenix? This is a man with a phoenix tail, a bird's beak. This captures the essence of the Chu people's mysterious religious and spiritual beliefs, their worship of the phoenix, and desire to become one with the holy animal. All around, there are signs of the phoenix. There's drums, there's clothing, and there's embroidery. Arts and crafts are perhaps the best way for us to tell about the past. Thousands of years ago, the phoenix played an important role in people's lives. Originally, the Feng Huang used to be two animals. Feng is male and Huang is female. But later, it became associated just with the female. This is due to the rise of the male dragon. Thus, the Chinese took the phoenix as the female counterpart. For instance, you'll find emperors wear clothing embroidered with dragons. On the other hand, empresses can be found adorning themselves with phoenixes to represent royalty or high class. Today, opera singers still wear phoenix headdresses and robes embroidered with this cultural icon. Both the phoenix and dragon are auspicious animals in China, and they go hand in hand. Together, the ultimate balance, just like yin and yang. The Wanshou Pagoda started to be built in 1548 and is composed of brick. Many Buddha scripture images decorate the outside of each floor. However, most unique are that the first 2 stories seem to be dug into the ground as a result of the yearly rise of the riverbed.
Hey, I'm over here. This pagoda is pretty deceiving. It looks like it was built underground, but actually this used to be ground level many, many years ago. It's because the Yangtze River brought in many deposits into the land, and as a result, the ground level gradually grew, leaving us with this sort of strange-looking pagoda.
At the end of the 3 kingdoms, it was Cao Cao that came out victorious, but his victory was short-lived. 3 kingdoms period was more than just war. More importantly are the governing policies, philosophers, heroes, and scholars that the period brought us. It was all of this that enriched Chinese culture and made China what it is today.
Three Kingdoms period was a chaotic time in China's history. Although the period was short-lived, it led to 400 years of disunity. It wasn't until the Sui dynasty that things got back together again. And just like the tide falls and rises, I suppose history works the same way. What the future holds, only time will tell. I'm Yin, and see you next time.
In the next episode, see the achievements of the Sui dynasty in Yangzhou.